dude. But I do think the point guard play leaves some things to be desired. We already see Sean Jones coming off an injury, back in a sling with a different injury, but it's opened up the door for a freshman, Nigel James Jr., who I think this Marquette fan base is really excited about 4 games into his Marquette career.
100%, and that's a great place to start. Nigel James really came out in that loss against Indiana, which we can break down further as well. 16 points in that one, inserted into the starting lineup against Little Rock, and he comes through with 13 in a game that was over at early in that second half. But I had a good Marquette friend of mine text this to our Marquette group chat after that Little Rock game, and I want to get your thoughts on it. He said Nigel James Jr. is Shaka's best recruit out of high school since he's been to Marquette. Because you think about the great players Shaka has coached, a good handful of them were Wojo recruits. Obviously, Oso, Justin Lewis, Cam Jones, Stevie Mitchell.
Yeah.
The transfers, Tyler Kolek, Omax Prosper. I guess if you want to say David Joplin came out of high school because he flipped his commitment from Shaka in Texas. But I think it might be a good enough statement. Nigel James Jr. looks to be an extremely talented kid coming right out of high school, immediately inserted into that starting lineup.
Yeah, I think it's about the eye test for freshmen. I don't think that's an absurd statement to make. It's obviously young to say, okay, he's the best freshman, but he looks really good. And I don't want to get bogged down in statistics with a freshman 4 games into his collegiate career, but he looks like he's ready to play college basketball.
Yes.
And I think that's the highest compliment you can give an 18-year-old kid. His body looks ready. The pace of the game is not too much for him. He plays solid defense. He's getting steals, which is a hallmark of a Shaka Smart basketball team. So all of the signs are there for Nigel James Jr. to become a star at Marquette, the next star. And you're right, it's been a long time since we've seen a freshman come in and make a real serious impact. The last one I can remember, and it took some time, was Marcus Howard. I remember Marcus Howard's freshman year, and as the team got into Big East play, you started to see, okay, this kid's got some offensive gifts that not everybody has. So it is exciting to see what Nigel James is contributing on both ends of the floor, and he's going to get some big opportunities if this Sean Jones injury to his shoulder early in the season keeps him out for a couple of games, which it looks like it might. Nigel's going to get thrust into that starting job, and it's going to be his to take or leave. It almost feels like a really early Brett Favre, Don Makowski moment for Nigel James and Sean Jones for this Marquette basketball program.
And this is how coaching changes can go, and we can talk about that more in the next segment with Buzz Williams as well. This Maryland team looks absolutely nothing like the Maryland team Marquette played a season ago with the head coaching change there. Shaka Smart just picked up his 100th win at Marquette, and yet now we're just talking about some of the first guys he's getting out of high school because he hit on pretty much every transfer he got when he took over at the program and inherited a lot of talent from Steve Wojciechowski as well. Brian, I want to get your thoughts on maybe some of the guys that we haven't seen step up just yet. I think in particular the name that stands out to me is probably Demarius Owens, the sophomore who we were really excited about as a freshman, who along with Royce Parham. I think Royce Parham as well, but he's looked pretty good in spurts.
He's literally looked pretty good. I watched the first Marquette game on television. I wasn't here at the arena for it, and I couldn't figure out who Royce Parham was because his body looked completely different. Like he clearly spent the offseason reshaping his body and becoming a physically more capable player, which is awesome to see. And I think, weirdly, that is the problem I have with Demarius Owens at this juncture of his career, where he came into Marquette as a guy that had a college-ready body with those athletic gifts. And it almost feels like he hasn't recognized just how strong and athletic and talented that he is and how to leverage all of that to play great college basketball. He spends way too much time shooting jump shots, and I think if you want to hold out hope on Demarius Owens, which I think you should, it's hopefully him recognizing, wait, I'm the most athletic guy on the floor most times that I'm on the floor, regardless of who we're playing. Let me just employ that a little bit better.
And real quick, I want to highlight the 2 men down low, the big men. I want to give the flowers to Ben Gold. The stat coming into this game for me, In Ben Gold's Marquette career before this season, he had 8 rebounds or more just 3 times.
Yep.
He's gotten 8 rebounds or more in all 4 games to start this season. He said after the game against Little Rock, it was clearly an emphasis for the whole team, and he wanted to be the leader in that, and he's doing it so far.
Yeah, I think I put him in the Chase Ross category of a guy that's been around and needs to step up and wear both offensive and defensive onus for an inexperienced team. I'll take the other big man, Caden Hamilton, who couldn't sniff the floor last year or the year before that, but there's been the story going around that Caden Hamilton made 10,000 hook shots this offseason. Shaka Smart told an unbelievable story with our own Alex Strofe during our Coaches Week series. You can watch it right now on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page and subscribe. Alex did great interviews with Shaka, with Greg Gard, with Doug Gottlieb, and with Bart Lundy, the 4 major college basketball coaches in the state. And Shaka told this story about how they stole a concept from Major League where they put a fat head of Caden Hamilton on the door of his office, and every 1,000 hook shots that he made this offseason, they revealed a piece of it so you could see a full Caden Hamilton, which was an unbelievable story. But yeah, he spent his offseason getting better. And getting better on the offensive end with finishing. So his plus-minus has not been good through 4 games. I think we're still waiting to see if it's a real development from Caden Hamilton in real live game action. But it's exciting to see some bigs on the floor for Marquette. It's been reminiscent of those Shaka Smart Texas teams where they look longer, they look taller, they look bigger, and that's going to lead to more deflections, which, of course, this Marquette team prides itself on.
It's a young team with a lot to learn and a lot more growing to do. All right, we want to take a step back and talk about Buzz Williams coming back to town, Jarrell McNeil's Marquette legacy, some other jerseys we'll see retired in the future at Fiserv Forum. So we will do that after we step aside. But, Brian, I know you have a message from Matrix Basement Finishing.
Yeah, one of our brand new partners this season on Marquette College Game Day for ESPN Milwaukee. Marquette basketball knows how to finish strong, and so does Matrix Basement Finishing. Turn your lower level into a space you'll love with craftsmanship that delivers the win every single time. Matrix Basement Finishing, proud partner of Marquette Athletics. Check them out at matrixbasements.com.
This is Marquette College Game Day, brought to you all season long by National Liquor, Cousin Subs, Marquette Athletics, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Exterior Pros, and, as Brian mentioned, Matrix Basement Finishing. A look to the past coming up after this from Fiserv Forum on ESPN Milwaukee.
More Golden Eagles hoops talk coming up on Marquette College Game Day with Brian D. 94.5 ESPN is the home of Marquette basketball.
People say buying a home in winter is tough.
But fewer buyers means less competition, and motivated sellers can mean better opportunities.
This is Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. When the perfect home appears, our team at Tony Wendorf & Associates helps you move fast, even during the snow.
Start your home journey today with our white glove service by simply searching online Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking to escape the cold or take a midday break? Get your game on at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, where it's always golf season. Play more than 2,000 courses, including over 50 right here in Wisconsin. And even that famous course where they hand out green jackets. Top tech simulators, great food, and the best Bloody Marys around. This is your year-round slice of summer. Bays start at just $35 an hour, Monday through Friday. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code QUICK to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code QUICK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code QUICK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This holiday season, celebrate where Milwaukee comes together. 3rd Street Market Hall. Whether you're planning a private party, a semi-private gathering, or a festive social night out, we've got the space, the flavor, and the fun to make it unforgettable. With incredible local food vendors, craft cocktails, and built-in entertainment like shuffleboard, games, and more, your group will have a holiday party they'll talk about all year long. Visit thirdstreetmarkethall.com for more information on booking your event.
Make the best seat in the house yours. Carbless delivers the handcrafted cocktail experience right to your living room. Bold flavor, no carbs, no sugar, just 100 calories, and all the taste with none of the extra baggage. From kickoff to the final play, Carbless is your game day go-to. Hosting friends, watching with family, or celebrating every big drive, Carbless keeps the good times pouring. So when the game's on the line, make the winning call. Skip the mixing, grab the bliss, and make every seat the best seat in the house. Find Carbless near you at drinkcarbless.com.
This is Marquette College Game Day with Brian D. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, Cousin Subs, and Marquette Athletics on the home of Marquette basketball, 94.5 ESPN.
Marquette welcomes Maryland on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon in downtown Milwaukee. The beers are flowing.
God blessed us with a 65-degree day in November. There's people drinking outside in the Deer District. It is an awesome day for Marquette basketball.
Absolutely incredible. Get outside. I'm sure there's still some tickets available. Would expecting a great crowd here today to see an old friend coming to town.
Well,
Buzz Williams, after 11 seasons since he's been the head coach at Marquette. He was the head coach here for 6 seasons from 2008 to 2014. It was an extremely successful run. It was 5 awesome. NCAA tournaments in that stretch, 3 Sweet 16s, an Elite 8, and he was the head coach for all 4 years. Mr. Brian D. was a student, so I give you the floor. Tell me your feelings of Mr. Williams coming back to town.
So the first memories that come to mind are all those tournament successes, right? Like that stretch of time. I was at Marquette from 2010 to 2014. 3 of those years was Sweet 16, Elite 8, Big East regular season championship, right? So it was unbelievable to see the Bradley Center packed to the brims, the passion, the energy around Marquette basketball. It was reminiscent of what we saw the last 3 or 4 years under Shaka Smart with Tyler Kolek and Cam Jones and that whole squad. But the wonderful thing about Buzz was his charisma and his personality was just infectious and mirrored in a lot of ways what people felt about Al McGuire. He was quirky when they were winning. He was kind of annoying when they were losing. He came off as brash and arrogant in some moments, but because it was Marquette's guy, you were able to wrap your arms around that. So the first thing about Buzz you're always going to remember is the tournament success. 5 tournaments in 6 years, the 3 Sweet 16s, the Elite 8. That day of the Elite 8 that they played Syracuse with a trip to the Final Four on the line, I was just pacing all day, and I think a lot of Marquette fans were. But like that, those are the moments you earn and want to live in as a basketball fan. So the success is one thing, and then the off the court moments. I think about Buzz dancing on West Virginia's logo after beating West Virginia in Morgantown, after benching his starters for breaking a team rule in the first half. Marquette was down by like 15 at halftime, stormed back and won, and then Buzz danced on the logo. I think about the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, show up and go to work. Like all those quirky sayings that he had, his raspy voice after games, sweating through his shirt, taking his jacket off. I mean, he was a character. And in a conference that has built its legacy in the Big East on characters at head coach, he was just another one of them that Marquette really wrapped their arms around. Now, I don't think the reception is going to be particularly good for Buzz here at Fiserv Forum today because
he left.
He left kind of in an ugly fashion. And I don't necessarily blame him because the regime that hired him, from athletic director to president of the university, and there were some things off campus and on campus that happened that didn't, shed great light on him. But the regime changed, and I don't know that his personality necessarily meshed with the new regime that came in. But the way that it all went down after so much success, and it felt like a perfect marriage, Buzz and Marquette, because I do think people equated him mentally to Al McGuire in the way that he acted and interacted. but I don't think anybody saw it coming. I think a lot of people were blindsided by his exit and should not have been. I think there was some naivete from the Marquette fan base with all of that. But I do think you'll probably hear 18 to 20,000 boos when the Maryland Terrapins run onto the court today, because people still hold that animosity of him leaving Marquette against him. And that's the way the college sports worked. And it's funny, with 11 or 12 years of perspective now, he left Marquette, a great situation, went to Virginia Tech. He left Virginia Tech and went to a different situation that people thought was a perfect marriage in his home state of Texas at Texas A&M, and built that program up to a good level. And then what happened? He left, and now he's at Maryland. So it almost seems like, I mean, the positive way to spin it is that Buzz likes to rebuild programs. The negative way to spin it is that Buzz's personality probably rubs people the wrong way after a particular period of time. So we'll see how long he lasts at Maryland. But all in all, positive memories of Buzz Williams and his legacy at Marquette University.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. Buzz said as much about the Fiserv crowd today, by the way. He kind of jokingly said he thinks they'll be cheering for Shaka Smart and the team on the floor.
And Buzz has said so many complimentary things about Marquette in the lead up to this game. He called it a top 15 job in all of college basketball, which I believe it to be. He said that he didn't deserve the job when he was hired. He's probably right, but a lot of people at Marquette took chances on him. So he's saying all the right stuff. And again, I think a lot of Marquette fans view that period of time when Buzz was the head coach incredibly fondly because of the success. I mean, some of those games were the most fun college basketball games. Forget that. Some of the most fun sporting events I've ever been to in my life. I went to the Sweet 16 game, or excuse me, the second round game to get them to the Sweet 16 in Louisville when they beat a one-loss Murray State team. And it was a road game because the game was in Louisville and Kentucky was playing that session. So there were 20,000 fans rooting against Marquette, and Marquette won. And like those are the moments that stick with you forever as a Marquette fan. And Buzz created so many of those. So he's an enigmatic figure. He gave us a lot of happiness and joy and great moments. He also spurned us at the end, and I think that's going to leave him as one of these foundational figures of Marquette basketball forever for positive and negative reasons.
So the other big blast from the past happening today, Jarrell McNeil is getting his jersey retired. He is one of two Golden Eagles getting their jerseys retired this season, with Marcus Howard coming later this season. Jarrell McNeil, of course, was the program's all-time leading scorer before Marcus Howard came to town and blew all of the stats out of the water, at least scoring-wise. Talk a little bit about Jarrell McNeil's legacy, and I know you also want to touch on who else we might see in the future potentially get their jersey retired.
Well, again, I mean, talk about the Buzz Williams era, the Three Amigos era that Jarrell McNeil spearheaded, scoring 1,985 points in his career, taking Marquette to the tournament. And I think, you know, when I think about that era of Marquette basketball, I think about solidifying this new era into the Big East, right? Because Dwayne Wade goes on this magical run with Travis Diener and the rest of the squad and Steve Novak in 2003 to the Final Four that we'll remember forever. And then Marquette leaps to the Big East, and it's a whole new era of uncharted waters, and we didn't know what was going to happen. And then the Three Amigos, Dominique James and Jarrell McNeil, they come in and they really solidify Marquette basketball as a viable entity in the Big East Conference, which it has been since. So long-time, all-time leading scorer, great player, beloved by the fans, and really helped solidify Marquette as a serious basketball school in the Big East Conference and part of the rock bed of the conference, and it has been since. So well-deserved for Jarrell today.
Absolutely. Averaged 20 points a game in his senior season in that 08-09 season under Buzz Williams. So much happening on this Saturday afternoon at Fiserv Forum, a blast from the past, and a good game on the court. Again, it'll look nothing like the game, even though this is a latter half of a home-and-home between Maryland and Marquette. Maryland is returning one player from a season ago. Marquette had two-thirds of their scoring from Cam Jones and Stevie Mitchell in that game a year ago. So it's going to look different, but it's going to be an opportunity for both of these teams that really want to win this one today.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, and these two teams played this time last year. Marquette went to College Park and took out the victory, but in today's era of college basketball, it's just so hard to take something that happened last year and parlay it to this year because there's so much roster turnover. So we'll see what happens today, but some really cool, intriguing storylines today at Fiserv Forum.
All right, that does it for Marquette College Game Day. Don't worry, though, Brian D's going nowhere. He's got you for the network pregame coverage of this one from right here. But for our first episode of Marquette College Game Day, presented all season long by National Liquor Mart, Cousin Subs, Marquette Athletics, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Exterior Pros, and Matrix Basement Finishing. For Brian D., Matt Yazel, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the game. Network Pregame is up next.
Crispy chicken just keeps getting better at Cousin Subs. Try our crispy chicken basket, complete with 3 white meat tenders and a regular fry, a meal made easy. And for the little ones, our kids meal comes with 2 crispy tenders, applesauce, a juice box, and cookie. Just the right size for growing appetites. Made with quality chicken and ready to enjoy in-store, online, or on the app.